Welcome everyone to the Poco Traveler channel. Today we're going to check out the Red Line Greenway. Today is May 13th. It just opened yesterday. It was the grand opening ceremony. It's supposed to run from West 65th Street in Cleveland, Ohio, and eventually go along the tracks of the RTA Red Line train car, and eventually end up by West 25th and the Ohio City area before it connects to the pre-existing Centennial Trail. I was here about a month ago. I kind of stumbled into the path, but it was only part of it was open. Today is a much sunnier day, about 60 degrees. So let's check it out a little bit and see. So even though this isn't the official start of the trail, here at Michael Zone Recreation Center, there is a bike path that goes around, and it's going to lead us up to the start of the trail. But the trail officially begins outside of Michael Zone Rec. So once you cross the street up there at the very end, that's the start of the trail. But you might as well count this as part of it too. So that was Michael Zone. Crossed the little street there, and then now you see the Red Line Greenway, Cleveland Metro Parks, and they've got some more signage. I don't think I saw the signage last month up on the poles up there. When I took this path a couple of weeks ago, I could see some of the grass has been cut since then too. But I believe I got to about West 42nd Street. Right now I was just near, I want to say that was around 58th Street. And then once I got to about West 42nd Street, there was a construction sign that said, "Do not enter." I've already seen several bikers and joggers as I was pulling up to this area using it, so that's great to see. When I found this little portion of the path last month, I was the only person on it. So initially it runs along the highway, but once you get further on down, it'll run right along the red line. In fact, you can see down there is where the red line is. But once we get further on, we'll be on the same level as the red line, I believe, at least from the pictures I saw online. All right, so here's one of the intersections coming up. Some road construction. Geez, it looks like that entire bridge is out. Yeah, look at that. They're redoing that whole bridge over there. But anyway, back to the bike trail. So that's nice to see already a truck here. It looks like they'll be doing some regular cleanup and maintenance on this path too to keep it nice and clean. They've already got a guy picking up waste materials. So I think that was West 44th I was at. But let me make sure once I cross up here. This should be West 42nd Street. Or West 41st, okay. This is where I went last time. I went down that path, and once I got to the end, there was a sign that said that the road was closed, or the path was closed. So presumably it'll be open now. So I just crossed that street, and now let's see how far the path goes. There's a little stop sign there. Alright, so where you see that "Do not enter" sign up ahead, that's where the trail was closed previously. So this will be new uncharted territory next to some place called Metal Nation. It is kind of rather deserted in the areas around it, and that walking bridge is closed. But you can see now we're pretty much running right along the red line. Alright, so this is the new area. Like the signage they have on some of the poles too. Looks like they're incorporating animal pictures from the Cleveland Zoo. That's for authorized vehicles if they want to do maintenance. See some walkers up ahead, as well as a biker on the left. So they have sporting events on those signs too. Curious if it'll be regularly walked on like it is right now, or if this is just people like me curious to see what it looks like. I mean, I would probably mix it up and use this path. I've been using the Edgewater path a lot of times if I need to go to the downtown Cleveland area. This is a nice, so far, a nice way to mix it up. Looks like an old bridge here, and I assume this thing here is for safety reasons, in case debris falls. So far that was all either slightly downhill or level. We've got a little bit of an incline coming up here. Doesn't look too steep though. Might be taking us back up to the street level, maybe at West 25th. Let's see it, or Fulton, I'm not sure which. Got a new wooden railing. Because that's a steep ditch down there, so they don't want people accidentally falling into it. Alright, so we did not end up going back up the street level. It was just a little climb there. Got some artwork here. That up there looks like a connecting path you can take. If you want to get on the path somewhere besides Michael's Zone. And then up there you can see the West 25th Rapid Station. I read in the article online that this had, in some way or another, been in the works for about a decade. I'm sure much of that was the planning and proposal and funding stages. It's one of those things where I do remember reading about it. So here's the West 25th area. You can see over here there's another connecting path with a nice Explore Cleveland artwork, and the Red Line Greenway, Center for Arts Inspired Learning, and the Rotary Club of Cleveland. I believe those are some of the sponsors of it. Alright, so there's one of the Red Line trails. as well as some more bicyclists coming. You can see we're about to approach.
I'm good looking.
Or as you can see, we're about to approach a steep downward angle, so I wanted to tell a quick little story first. I read in the article that this path was under development or in the proposal stages. In some capacity, it's been planned for about a decade. It was one of those things where I recall reading about it several years ago, but when you read it, you think to yourself, when is it actually gonna come to fruition? Because I took this bus and Red Line downtown all the time, so I've seen this path over here been vacant and just like full of grass and shrubs and trees for many years. So you think to yourself, that's gonna take forever for them to do. So I hadn't read about it in a while, and all of a sudden, boom, it's here and finished. So it's been a very pleasant surprise. But I think we're about to get close to the Centennial Trail. Like I said, I don't want to film going downhill. I want to use both hands on my bike. But when I'll resume the shooting in a second. So I just came down that steep hill, and you can see they've got some nice artwork. Well, not really artwork, but colors on the bridge. And it looks like we're going to go down there, and then you can make a right. And then over there, down below, is where I took the bike path to get to the Cleveland sign and the Centennial Trail, and eventually connect to downtown Cleveland. When I did that a few weeks ago, around the NFL draft time in Cleveland. So that basically is the end or beginning, depending on how you want to look at it, of the Red Line Greenway. And now we just continue into the Centennial Trail that we previously looked at. Alright, so thanks for tuning into the video. That was fun to see, and now we're on a little more familiar territory here. If you want to check out the trail yourself, be sure to do so. Right in Cleveland, Ohio, and should be open now from the rest of the time you want to come down.